Hello, Pisces. It is time for your mid-August update. We're going to start out, as usual, with an oracle card to see what kind of energy or what the primary theme is for you here in the second half of the month. You have hit your target. I don't know if you already had this card. I know a few people did, or a few signs did at the beginning of the month, but it's important that you keep your focus on whatever your goal is or has been here in August. There's something you had your eye on, something that you're trying to get done before the end of the month. It's like you have a deadline and you need to hit that target or there will be consequences. Lucky for you, it is not a moving target, but it is very specific and a little far off, or it feels far off, or it feels like maybe you've been procrastinating and now that's going to start catching up with you. If you have been procrastinating, that is not going to work out in your favor. You better get to work. Quit delays, quit making excuses, get this done so that it gets out of your way, because it isn't going to go away. And the consequences for this, again, aren't that the need to do this goes away. It's just that there are things like penalties or fines or things like that that get added. Just get it done. Stop dragging your feet and get it done. Hit your target. You'll feel a lot better once you get it out of the way. That should be incentive to get to work. Now let's see what your tarot cards have. We're starting with the Nine of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ten of Swords. That's interesting. It is very interesting to me that we have the 9 and then starting at the 9 and ending at the 10. Yeah, you are close to the end. So essentially what this overall is telling me is you are very close to the end. There are some people in here who can help you out, but you are responsible for getting this done. You are responsible for handing it in, for closing it up, whatever it is. You're the one who has to put that dart in the target. You're going from worry, not, maybe you're not sleeping, you're not resting well because there's stress. There's a lot of stress involved. And by the end of the month, though, there is a clear ending, because 10s are about endings. And this is going to be, I'm feeling, because we're starting and ending with swords, this is going to be about there is a message or some information you need to share. This could be a class project that needs to get done or something that needs to be turned in. It's going to be around facts and figures or legal items or matters. There's no emotional involvement here, or there shouldn't be, and that may be why you're struggling. Is because it is all about the facts and the figures and needing to make sure you can back that up, like have your citations and things like that. So there is a need to focus on that. And if you can't do it all in one go, then you need to take it in small bits. Whatever you need to do to get it done, I strongly recommend that you put the effort in. Now, let's get into the cards. Okay, maybe I don't strongly recommend it, but the message I'm getting is they strongly recommend that you get it done. They're like, just get it done. Okay. Now let's get into the individual cards. 9s do indicate you're nearing the end. You are so close. And the only thing that's holding you back is your own fears, your own anxiety, which is what the 9 of Swords is all about. Somebody who can't sleep because they're so worried, or maybe they're having nightmares, or maybe they have insomnia, which is making it even harder to focus because they're so stressed out about this. You need to find a way to just let yourself, how do I want to put this? Put it into, I don't know if you can, is this a word? Compartmentalize? Box it up, put it into its own little thing and focus only on those boundaries, the 4 squares or the 4 walls of that thing. And when you're in that space, so maybe this is all about setting up a space in your home even, or going to a library to do it, having a dedicated space or place in order to focus on this work. Okay, bonus in there. But this here, as until you get started on it, until you make some significant progress, maybe even until you hit that target, you're kind of going to be in this antsy, anxious, stressful space in your mind. So I think this is more of a warning. The encouragement is you are so close. You just have to do it. You just have to push past the fear, past the anxiety, past the doubts, and just get it done. The biggest thing is that you hit your date. It does not have to be perfect, but you have a deadline, and that's it. That is your goal, is to hit that deadline, get something in, do something, show some work at a minimum. And then your next card, or the next thing we have here, is the Knight of Cups. This may be you. Usually the court cards have to deal with people. This could be advisors, friends, family, people in your life. But here we have the Knight of Cups, and cups are about emotions. It's a water element. You are a water element. That Pisces energy is water-based, emotion-based, intuition-based. The Knight of Cups is like somebody who has just graduated college. It's just an example. And or they've received the certifications. They've completed something. They have the knowledge, but they don't have any experience yet. They have no idea how it actually works when you go and try to apply that knowledge out there in the world, in life. And for this, this is going out into the world and learning what you are emotionally attached to, what works for you on an emotional level, what kind of relationships you want to have, how you interact with people on that emotional wavelength. So this may even feel like it's a psychological paper or something like that, where you actually have to go out and talk to some people. And maybe that's where your anxiety is coming in partway too. It's because you actually have to do some interviews. If that is true for any of you, please let me know, because I would like to know how accurate that is. You have to go out there and talk to people. You need to put yourself out there. You may need to make yourself vulnerable. You may need to accept the fact that some people are going to say no or reject it or dispute or counter argue your point of view. As long as you have, because of what this overall thing is about with the swords bookending, as long as you stick to the facts and the figures and don't get caught up in an emotional argument or emotional appeal, which may be hard for you, and that might be the point of this whole exercise for you. As long as you can stick to the facts and back up the facts, and you have your citations, etc., you have the figures, you have the logic, you can push through. But I think that's the biggest challenge here this month for you, is that you can't use the emotional arguments to sway people to answer in the way you want or to respond in the way you want. So this is you going out there. Oh no, it's both. It is that struggle of learning how to get the answer you want without using the emotion, or even just trying to settle your emotions. You know, some of this could also have to do with how you respond when you're out there asking questions. The energy or the emotions that you're feeling, that the energy and emotions that you're putting out. This may be where you start to recognize that people return or match that energy. So if you approach it in a positive way and not an anxious way, if you can calm yourself down, find your center a little bit, do a little short meditation in the car, whatever it is, before you go to ask the questions, before you go, whatever this is, where you're having to interact with other people, that is going to make it go much more smoothly, because people will respond in a positive way to positive energy. Whereas if you're anxious, which is just going to up your stress level, that energy is going to feed into their energy, and that's where some tension can come in. So pay attention to your energy as you are getting out there. Okay. I think that's all they want out of that card. Yeah. Now I'm drawn to the wings on this helmet too, which reminds me, it's like a messenger card. You may be the messenger. You may be the one where you have, this could even have to do with a presentation where you want to tap into the emotions, but you have to do it with the facts and the figures. So it's a tricky situation. And in that case, while you'll be talking about, speaking to, communicating on the facts and the figures, the emotion you invest into the message as you're speaking about it, even though it's all purely a non-emotional type subject, if you are enthusiastic about it, if you are excited about it, that will get them excited about it. So this is less about using your words and more about using your energy, your personal energy, just being in the right state when you're communicating. All right. Hopefully that covers everybody. I don't know. We'll see. That was a lot for one card. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. This feels like a very supportive person. Somebody who's there, who has your back. This may be a mother figure. It's definitely feminine energy. They're very nurturing. And they literally may be supporting you as you're going through this, because the Queen of Pentacles is very successful. They have a home. They're very nurturing in that way. Think of Taurus type energy. It's very grounding. It's earthy energy. It's calming energy. This is a person, once you've done this part, you can come back with them and they will help you calm down, or just being by them with them helps you to just relax. Gets you back into the proper neutral zone, if you will. It's like they can bring you back down from all the energy, the hype, or the drain of the situation where you're out doing the field work, if you will, or doing the presentation or whatever it is. When you come back here, they can help you now finalize your findings, or being in this space with them gets you into the space or the headspace, the energetic space you need in order to do the summary or wrap up your findings and complete the report or complete the presentation or put the final touches on things. You can also bounce ideas off this person, and they're not going to necessarily direct your answers, but they will provide feedback. Or it just they're just there as a sounding board. If you need to talk about what you're thinking about doing, they will just listen so that you can get it out and you can express it and you can hear yourself talking about what it is you want to do. And as you're doing the act of talking and listening to yourself, as you verbalize it, that can help trigger and help you change things up to make it better or improve on it. Okay. They may be feeding you too. For some reason, feeding is coming in there too. All right. And then we have the High Priestess. Now, this is a card. It's a major arcana card. And what I'm getting out of this card for you is that once you get to the end of this, maybe even right before you hand in whatever this is, turn it in before you throw that dart. Take time to just sit still, to get yourself into a flow state, or at least a calmer feeling, calmer energy. You want to feel balanced. You want to go inward. You want to like turn down the dial. Turn down the dial or dials on how you're feeling about the overall thing. It's almost like then at this point you read through or go over everything one more time, so that while you're doing that, it takes you out of, it will help you see any mistakes or anything you may have missed if you are in a calmer state, if you are more relaxed as you're doing that. So this may mean turn on the music, maybe do a short meditation, a prayer, whatever it is for you. Go for a walk, do something different to take your mind to a different place, to divert your attention for a little while before you come back and read it. And it'll feel like you're reading it from a fresh perspective, or at least with fresh energy, which will then infuse it with that fresh energy before you deliver it, before you sign on the dotted line. This could even be, if this has to do with contracts, for some reason this is popping through. If this whole thing has to do with a contract of some type or a legal matter, This is also going to be about read all of it, read all the fine print, make sure you thoroughly understand what it is before you sign on that dotted line, especially because we are still in Mercury retrograde. So be careful of that. If this wasn't something that was already in play before August and it's fresh and new, it started in August here. If you can put it off until the very end of the month before you sign, that would be helpful. And at a minimum, make sure you read everything, ask questions. Make sure you ask the questions. Then if this is all about doubts and fears about signing something or getting into a long-term contract, which that could be it too, read it all, ask all the questions. They can't address any emotional bits again, but they can give you the details, and they should be very responsive if both sides want to have this signed. Make sure you understand it completely before you put your signature on it. Okay. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Tens indicate endings. The Ten of Swords is a very definitive ending. There is no going back. Once this is done, it's done. You can't undo it. You can't change it. You can't modify it. It's final. This is final. It does end this whole journey for you. It does end this subject, this topic, whatever this is. That's the end of it. Once it's done, once you hit that target, it's done. It is done. And you can move forward now. You can shake that off. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to focus on it anymore. If you do focus on it anymore, it's just going to be about worrying and maybe wishing you could have done it differently, but you can't because it's done. So bottom line, what's done is done. Once you hit that target, it's done. It's over. Tis enough. That is that. Let's see what we have on the bottom of the deck for you. Oh, I like that. And then you can move on. And done. Scene, cut. The Six of Swords, because we're back into this sword. So again, information, communication, this could be education, all those things, law, legal things, facts, figures. The 6 follows the 5, which can be about conflict and challenges, arguments, things like that. When you get the 6 of Swords, this is like, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm taking myself out of the situation, which is what happened. And because it's on the bottom of the deck, this is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate goal of this situation. You just want to get it over with. You don't want to deal with it anymore. You want to move on. You want to move on to calmer waters. And the only way you can do that is to get this done. Hit your target, hit the deadline so that you are done with it and you can move on. It does feel like you will get there, but you're going to cause your own self-induced anxiety here, or this all is a result of delay and procrastination and trying to avoid it. Just get it done. You will feel so much better and much more relaxed once it's all over with. And that, Pisces, is what I have for you for the second half of August. Please hit that like button, even though this may be aggravating. Please hit the like button and please hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.